When you don't have the resources that are going to put you in place of people, you got to knock down the door. So it's like I decided that I was going to do this. And so you can't wait around for something to happen. No one's coming to save you. So like, I don't want to be the guy that's sending you an email saying, hey, my name's Matt Corman. Can I open for your tour? Give me a look. Like that's obviously a lame position to put yourself in, but there's no other position that's going to put you in that seat to get that opportunity, because that person isn't going to come to you because they have their own going on.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover DistroKid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, DistroKid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust DistroKid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used DistroKid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the DistroKid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with two-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your DistroKid bank. Stay updated on royalties through push notifications, effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional-grade mastering, DistroVid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The DistroKid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends. Today, I'm joined by a new friend of mine. We run in the same circles. Incredible artist, Matt Corman. Welcome to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast.
Thank you for having me, Mike Squires.
You're from Cape Cod?
I am, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, specifically the town of Barnstable. Have you ever been there?
I don't know if I have. I've been to Cape Cod, and maybe I have been to that town, but I'm unsure.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the drive-thrus. I mean, no, it's pretty poppin' there. It's cool. It's probably the best town on the Cape.
Is Provincetown in?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I've probably been.
Yeah, the tip up there. Provincetown's a good spot.
Crazy.
Crazy stuff.
What was it like growing up in Cape Cod, dude?
It was good. It's a beach town. It's cool. Like, grew up riding bikes. I played hockey my whole life. It's a big hockey community over there. It's dope, but I'll say like 90% of the population leaves Cape Cod after the summer. So in the winter and the fall, you don't really have much to do. It's a little depressing. So I kind of got out of there when I graduated. When I went to college.
I think I actually saw an American Horror Story season that's based in that area.
Really?
But it's based on the winter season.
Yeah.
Because it's like a ghost town.
Yeah. No, that would actually make perfect sense. Yeah, no, it really is a ghost town. Like you don't really ever have to go there. The only thing that's there that's fun to do is like a 99 restaurant. You know what I mean? Do they have 99s out here?
I don't even know what a 99 restaurant is.
You don't know what a 99 is?
Someone explain to me.
Do you know what like an Applebee's is?
Yes, I know what an Applebee's is.
Okay, It's an Applebee's, but it's in Massachusetts.
It's like a Massachusetts Applebee's?
Yes, but it's so good. It is the crispiest beers in town. At every single 99. I can't believe you've never been there before. And you played shows in Massachusetts, though, right?
Oh, yeah, plenty of.
The next time you go to Massachusetts, you got to go to a 99 restaurant.
I will do. Well, we got to go together. Honestly, we should redo another podcast whenever we can.
I'm down.
We have to, dude.
Yeah.
In the 99.
I'm down, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But how would you describe yourself to somebody who's never met you before?
Handsome, 6'5", funny, you know what I mean, intelligent. No, I'm kidding. I guess I would say that an entrepreneur. I started making music years ago. I've been putting out music since like 2017. And then I was in tech sales. I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I was waiting tables. And then, I went full-time music in 2020 and haven't stopped. I'm just like a hustler. Just a hustler guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you strike me as somebody who makes it happen.
Yeah. Funny you say that. I actually got that tattooed this morning.
It wasn't a coincidence, dude. I did my research.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, that's interesting that you said that. Yeah. Well, I try to have like that behind a lot of my lyrics, and the whole message of my music is like, you know how it is on the independent grind. It's like you don't have as many resources, and so you got to figure out a way to make shit happen. And so I kind of want to be inspiring people to do that. You know?
Got to make it happen at all costs, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's been a struggle that you've had to face in your music career?
God, how much time do you have for the podcast? You know,
I mean, if we talk about your struggles the whole time, I guess.
I would say a big struggle was overcoming the whole idea that I'm a professional rapper. Like, you know, early on, you know, you're the kid that's rapping in your hometown and everyone's making fun of you. And then you go from being the hometown rapper, you get like a couple of respect from people, and then like turning into an actual career is really hard. Like monetizing it is fucking difficult because you have to get tons of streams to get paid for that, and then figure something else out, maybe features, whatever it is. And then like the artist community doesn't have money already, so it's hard to make money off other people. And it's just a fucked up space. So I think the industry as a whole. But for me personally at this moment in time is like, I'm trying to take that next jump and play with like the bigger names, you know, that next level people that they're doing like, you know, bigger venues and shit, like radio records. And it's hard to compete at that level when you don't have the same resources that they do, you know, like we're just putting out songs through DistroKid or Too Lost or whatever it is, and just hoping that we get as much airtime as Jack Harlow. And it's like, we don't have the same manpower or push or people that, you know, so it's like, I view it as playing the NFL without cleats. You know, that's how I view the independent artistry. So I would say that.
Yeah, it is tough. There are a lot of growing pains that, you know, go into even becoming an artist, you know, because it's not like you just hop into it and everything works right away, you know.
Hell no.
A little bit of a journey you got to figure out.
Yeah.
But I know you had a big moment of success because Nelk used your music.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, shout out the Nelk boys. They literally changed my life, like 100%. I was just like, I think one of the video guys put up like, hey, like submit your music to Nelk to use in their videos. And then I was just submitting a ton of stuff. Like back then I was submitting like promoting sounds, you know, like swaggy tracks, like everybody. You're just trying to get your music everywhere. And then like sometimes it gets played, sometimes it doesn't. And at that time I quit my job. I was going full-time music. I was making like $700 a month. My rent was like $700 in Boston in this shitty apartment. And then I see Nelk used it in their biggest merch drop yet. And so this is the time. Do you remember they had like 350,000 people on their website at a time?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Dude, the intro video for that merch drop was Word to the Wise. So 350,000 people are sitting there and the song's fucking playing. And so everyone's like, what's the song? And so I saw my little artist listening now went from like 20 people listening now to like hundreds. And I've never seen that before, like 300, 400. And I'm like, what's going on? And at the time I was like driving Uber because I was trying to do Uber and do music at the same time. And then, that took my music to like, it took it up. And then I delivered songs weekly after that and just, you know, was committed to it so that like everybody that joined me had something to dive into, and it kind of stuck with me. So that like was my first taste of success and being able to make money off of music. And then from that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, moments like that are crazy because those are the moments that you want to happen.
100%.
You know what I mean? Especially going from, you know, dropping songs with nothing happening to all of a sudden, you know, so the song is growing. Like, what are some opportunities that came from the success of the song?
Damn, you know, a lot. I think that here's something I'll note on that because I know a lot of artists pay attention to the podcast. I'll say this, that song did really well, but had I slowed down and not released those weekly songs and not kept up with the consistency, nothing would have happened. So like that song, like there was also like 6 other songs that they used in their videos. That song just happened to connect more. And so I think that we just kind of grew it from there, like just putting songs out. And then like, you know, nothing really came as terms of like a show or anything. It was honestly, I think just paychecks. I was able to make a living off of music.
And that's huge, dude. I mean, that's like, because at that point, then it's like easier for you to make the decision where it's like, oh, I'm not going to Uber anymore. I'm not going to do this. Now I have the funds to not only reinvest in myself, but, you know, pay the rent.
Yeah.
Keep the everything.
100%, dude. It went from like $700, and I talk so openly about the whole like financial journey of it too. A lot of artists listen to this too, right?
Yeah.
Dude, so at that time it went from like $700 a month where like I was making no money, and then like to like $2,000 and the $4,000 a month. And then it's just like the slow grind since then is what it's been. And so it changed my life because it showed me like, hey, you could pay rent with music, which, you know.
And it makes a lot of your choices going forward a little bit easier where you're willing to take more risks maybe on something just because you have a little bit of a nest egg where it's like, okay, I can, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm good on this.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it made everything easier. And especially then too, it's like you could do other, like you could still drive Uber, but now you're not just completely relying on the Uber money to pay the rent. It's like the distro, or you could have like, I mean, at the time what I did was I took the money I was making off of DistroKid and was like, okay, that's my music money to invest on whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you know what? I want to bring up another life-changing event that you had.
Okay.
I know that you got into a dirt bike accident.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So I started racing dirt bikes like when I was, I started riding dirt bikes when I was like 12 years old, and I was racing through high school. And then I think it was like my freshman year of college, I was racing at MX207 in Lyman, Maine. Shout out to them, you know, great fucking racetrack. Anyways, I was just like doing it for fun. And I came out the gate, we had like 45 riders. And around like the second corner, I was in like third place. And then basically how I would describe it is there's like this little jump and then a tabletop. And then the first and second place, they went in front of me and they collided together and fell. And then I ran into the back of some kid, broke his fucking back, and ejected onto like the face of the jump and like fucking knocked myself out, got ran over by a bunch of bikes. And then I was all fucked up for a little bit. But that's like, no, that was the second last time I raced. So yeah, and then I quit racing dirt bikes pretty much then. But I went back actually because of my mom. She was like, hey, you know, my mom's very passionate and overcoming things, and that's where I get the whole make it happen thing from. And she was like, oh, well, you gotta like at least go race one more time and go conquer the track so you didn't leave on a bad note. So after a couple months of recovery, I went back and I raced it, didn't get hurt, completed it, and then that was the last time I touched the dirt bike though. But yeah, and I could use that time. It kind of got me into music too, because my passion was riding dirt bikes, and then it turned into like, hey, put that energy into something else. And so microphones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How did it change your perspective though?
I think that's a great question, because I'm like, you know, the obvious answer that you hear is like, oh, you realize how fragile life is. And like when something happens to you like that, it really comes full circle to you that you're like, wow, like anything could fucking happen any day. So why wouldn't I try to just do the things that I want to do or be passionate about it? So it definitely taught me to consider that in everything that I do. Like, that affected me when I was working at a staff agency called K-Force, and I was trying to build the music, and I was doing weekly releases, and I was trying to do music full time. And every time I was there, I was like, wow, I can't wait to do something different, and like made the decision that I'm not going to waste my time here because time is fragile, you know? And that dirt bike crash definitely taught me that for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I find that as I'm getting older too, I'm just like very aware of my mortality. Where it's like,
it's scary, man. Especially you see people, you know, their headlines every single day. You wake up. I mean, like the other day, those hockey players just passed away, just riding their bikes, you know, and were killed from a drunk driver. It's like, you know, hate to say it, but that could be anybody.
No,
you know?
It is scary. Fat Man Scoop just played a show in Connecticut, literally 2 days ago, and you know, that was his last one. So it really like, I mean, if there's anything to be taken away from this is that you just need to live your life to the fullest. Yeah,
I mean, dude, Aaron Carter, his last podcast he ever did was my podcast before he passed away. Yeah, I toured with him. We played Toad's Place where we were here in Connecticut. But it's insane. You just like wake up one day and then people just move on. You know, and you're just left with, I think, you know what that really inspired me to do is leave a legacy. So that's what's important to me. And like similar to what you do. It's like, you know, we're talking about death here, but like, God forbid anything happen. It's like, there's a lot that you left behind of value and advice to people, and your art that lives forever. You're eternal, and us as artists get to do that. So, I mean, I think that's dope.
Yeah, I was gonna shift it to some of the artists that you toured with, but you just brought up Aaron. Like, what's something that you like learned or a good memory you have with him?
I would say how to perform. He's an incredible performer. You know, and I mean, he's been doing it since he was like 6 years old or something like that. He was an amazing performer though. He just went out there with his keyboard and like no intro really. He was so communicative, like he would communicate with the crowd so well, and he also was extremely good at reading the room of the vibe. Like, didn't force any song or any situation. If it was like a smaller crowd or whatever it is, like he would make it more intimate, and he would just like acknowledge that it was small and we're here all hanging out. But he always, every time he was performing his songs, it was 100%. He was present. Like I even notice myself sometimes when I'm on the mic and I'm rapping, you space out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You ever like space out sometimes?
It's kind of like a blackout.
Yeah.
It's like in go mode.
Yeah, and he was just incredibly attentive. Like he's an incredible performer, so that was super inspiring. And I mean, he was a great guy to me. You know, he was awesome. So
yeah, how did that opportunity come to be?
He just announced that he was going on a tour, and I just emailed his manager and was like, "Yo, can I open up?" And they were like, "Yeah, man, you can do these couple dates in the Northeast," because that's where I was staying at the time, and they were hoping that I'd be able to sell some tickets. And then I kind of got lucky and got placed on it, and it was It was me and like 2 other artists, I'm pretty sure.
Before I bring in some of the other tours that you've been on, I kind of want, because I'm noticing a pattern now where it's like you seem like somebody who is big on the cold email, where, you know, you were talking about earlier about, you know, emailing all the YouTube channels, trying to get on there. Now you're talking emailing just to get on the tour, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's very important to do the cold emails, but like what motivated you to do that?
There's no other option. When you don't have the resources that are going to put you in place of people, you got to knock down the door. So it's like, I decided that I was going to do this. And so you can't wait around for something to happen. No one's coming to save you. So like, I don't want to be the guy that's sending you an email saying, hey, my name's Matt Corman. Can I open for your tour? Give me a look. Like that's obviously a lame position to put yourself in, but there's no other position that's going to put you in that seat to get that opportunity, because that person isn't going to come to you because they have their own shit going on, you know? So I've been firing off cold emails forever. I mean, yeah.
And it's a great play too. And I mean, you're right telling me some opportunities that you got from it.
Yeah.
How did you end up on tour with Lil Xan?
Yeah. Was that through anything cold? No. So Lil Xan, God, that's a long story. Just of like how we got to the Lil Xan story. I guess, should I just tell the whole thing? Okay, cool. This is a good story, but it's just, I've never told it before, but it's really like indirect how it happened. So basically, Logic was going on tour. We had a connection to one of Logic's producers. We got connected to Logic and we were gonna go do content for him. I flew out myself, my manager, and a content team to go shoot content for Logic. While we were back there, things went good, and Logic was like, yo, you should come to the New Orleans stop. He's like, you guys come to the New Orleans stop. And we're like, yeah, for sure. And then we had no flights available. We rented a car at midnight from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, drove 9 hours to the New Orleans show, showed up with no tickets, and then bought a ticket. And then we were like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna like get backstage or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. We started hanging out with the guys again, got close with Logic's team. Backstage, there was this guy there who is now fully on my management team. And he had in his Rolodex Lil Xan's manager. And so they connected, and Lil Xan was going out on tour, and it worked out perfectly. And then they were like, yo, do you want to come for all the dates? And I was like, yeah. So that actually came from not a cold email, but like relationship building, and then just taking the jump. Like at that second, we didn't have to drive to New Orleans from Jacksonville at midnight, but we decided to. And so we just jumped at the opportunity, and that turned into the Lil Xan tour, which then has turned into many other things too.
Yeah, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, dude.
Yeah, spot on. Taught that shit. Yeah.
But the thing too, it's like, you have to be willing to like just be like, yo, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just know that we need to go.
Yeah, you have to jump. Like, you know, I view this whole music space as the ocean, and like you have to jump in to swim. Like jump. You know what I mean? It's like the guy that's sitting at the fucking bridge jump and he's scared to jump in and everybody's already in the water. If you stand, because you could stand forever on the bridge, analyzing every reason why you shouldn't do certain things, and you're probably right, because this industry's fucked up. You're probably correct. But those that do jump in do get to swim.
Yeah,
so,
and it goes both ways too. You know, there are times where I know that I've jumped and like it's worked out great. Like incredible opportunities have happened. Yeah, but I've also jumped and then
hit a rock,
dude.
Yeah.
You know, do you have an instance of you like taking a risk that didn't work out well?
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, I know you do.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know like of an example. Like, what is that? Oh yeah. I mean, like, dude, like, I'll give you a great example. I paid this. Here's a good one. I paid a content team $10,000 to make me like go viral on TikTok and shoot content or whatever. And it just didn't work out. Things fell through on their end, and like we're all buddies now or whatever, but it completely failed. Like I didn't have a lot of money, you know what I mean? And I invested $10,000 in my career, and I got zero out of that. Like nothing happened TikTok wise or Instagram wise or social media wise. But I'll say this, I developed a relationship with the people that I paid, and then now we're good friends. We have a working relationship moving forward, and it all worked out in the end. And to that, you may have jumped and landed on a rock, but sometimes we don't know the result that we're gonna get or what we're supposed to get out of the situation. Like I thought I was gonna be viral off of TikTok from meeting these people, but in reality, we've done other business ventures together and done other things together that has worked out 10x times what I would have gotten out of the TikTok. So like, you can't be married to the result. You got to be detached from it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Everything is making lemonade out of lemons. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when
lemonade out of lemons, yeah.
Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if it's not working out, it's kind of on you to like redirect and like either A, learn from it, don't do it again, or B, like how can we make it work?
100%.
You know, with the content that you shot that didn't end up working out, have you ever used it for anything else, or it was just kind of a wash from there?
No, we used it. I mean, we tried to use some things. We tried it, but like nothing really came out of the content side. It was more just like the relationship stuff, you know? Yeah, I mean it's the same thing as like when we went to go shoot content at Logic's thing. Like we did content for them, but like then came out of it was like a new relationship and like more things moving forward. So it's like sometimes you don't know why you're in it. Like we don't know why we're on this podcast. We think it's for putting out this podcast on your platform, but like who knows? Maybe I'm gonna
see it.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna open up a chicken company one day and you love chicken, and then we're gonna invest in that together. Like I don't know.
I'd be kind of down, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, so you never know.
Yeah, I just need to ask you though. As a millennial, what are you doing for music?
Nice, dude. Nice. So you watched the Kyle Beats video?
I did. I just watched that.
Yeah. Classic. What'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it a lot too, and I've known Kyle for a little bit now, so it was a great concept. You know what I mean? I really liked it, and it's like it was just a fun video to watch.
Yeah. It also like we play up a lot for the cameras. I never get to say that, but like everyone's in the comments fighting. They're like, well, millennials do this, Gen Z do this. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with you, like that idea came up with, and then we were told like, hey, we're gonna enhance things. Like that dude Bended is playing the villain in there, and he's getting roasted in the comments. But like, to be honest, like he was like, should I take the villain route? And we're like, yeah. I'm like, you should be roasting me as a millennial and calling me like an old person and stuff, you know? And I think to answer your question, I think everybody's doing everything for the fucking culture. I don't know what I'm doing for the millennials or what the, you know what I mean, or the Gen Zers. It's like we're all just creating music and just trying to have fun and spread a message, you know?
It's a genius concept though, because, you know, there's an obvious, like if I'm watching the video, I'm obviously taking the millennial side because that's where I land in it. But it's like it's genius though too, because, you know, when you have something that's polarizing, like of course millennials think they're the best, of course Gen Z. So, and then you're gonna get people bickering, and that's like what's gonna help the video go.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's a genius. He's a professional, and he's a professional YouTuber. And so there's nothing that he's doing that isn't calculated, and that is exactly what he's doing for. He is doing that so people will talk in the comments, you know, because that's what, and it sparks. What are we doing if we're not sparking a conversation? And it is a good conversation. Who makes better music, millennials or Gen Z? I still think millennials, you know what I mean? But
I mean, that's just that's the right answer.
Yeah.
We don't have to go over that. Though.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I said my piece in the video, so like, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But, no, and I've done like with social media, it's important too. Like I did a video there's like a big food festival that happens in my hometown.
Yeah.
And the dude that runs it has like a solid social media platform. So he's going over his favorite pizza toppings, and he gives me his list. It's like pepperoni, sausage, mushroom. I'm like, dog, you gotta say pineapple, dude. Like,
you're a pineapple pizza guy?
No, hell no, I'm not.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's controversial, dude.
Oh yeah, but you have to say it 100%. Yeah, we talk about this shit all the time. You have to like do things for controversy, and it's okay.
Yeah. I think as long as it doesn't really hurt somebody at the end of the day, and like things like that, you can kind of say, you know, I mean, kind of say or do whatever. It's because sometimes it's fun to watch too.
I mean, dude, like, I mean, I have tons of things on YouTube of me just through Kyle having my songwriting process out there for millions of people to judge and see. And like, I'm the Walmart Drake, I'm the fucking Walmart G-Eazy, Tyga had a baby, like keep copying. Like everyone can say whatever they want, but there are times like I say jokes and like I'm a joking person. But like in those videos, I'll like constantly be like, dude, like I'll like make fun of G-Eazy or try. I said something in the last video. I said that Ice Spice isn't selling out things, right? I said that on purpose so that people had something to fucking talk about. And I guarantee they're gonna take it in the video. But like, yeah, like I think she's dope. I think she's crushing it. But I said in the video because like she's not selling out arenas and she was like the #1 Gen Z artist. So like to me, it was kind of like, what does that actually mean? Like back in the day, a millennial artist that is the #1 artist is selling out an arena. So like, where does that put music nowadays? I don't really know, but I said it to spark a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
You know, you just brought up Drake, and one thing, how does Kendrick know that Drake is a 69 god?
How does Kendrick know that Drake's a 69 god? That's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Nice.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up though because I really enjoy your social presence. You do good with social media, and I know that was a video that hit for you.
Yeah. I started because I was doing a lot of videos of me rapping my songs, you know, as most artists do, because like, what else are you gonna do other than like do that? And I started just pointing the camera at my face and just saying random thoughts. And that's going a lot better. Like, it seems like people give a fuck about me doing that more than like me doing my rap songs. And like, all right, I'm not gonna force anything on everybody, you know? So I try to do a mixture of both.
I think it's important too. And I think when you do content like that, it showcases your personality more too, which honestly in today's age, I think is becoming more important, because what I'm finding is that there are a ton of artists that will find success because people like them versus like you can have great, it's important to have great music. If you're in the music industry and you're not making great music, like you're already out of the music industry.
Yeah.
But like to have the extra thing where it's like, oh, Matt Corman's kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like I think people gravitate towards that. And if someone who may not have given your music a chance before might actually listen.
How about, what if I said this? We spoke about being like doing cold emails and cold outreach before. Me and you have never met in person, but you probably had an idea who I was because of social media. And so it's like that may encourage you to do more business with me and have a podcast with me because you have an idea of who I am. Yeah. Versus if all I had out there was just my songs, you may be like, this guy, I don't know what he is actually like. So I think it's important to show, and that's how you build fans as well. Where it's like there's so much music as product out there to consume that people want to fall in love with you. So you might as well just like give them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah. Well, the thing too, it's like, you know, you're also constantly being judged. Like if you're in entertainment, like.
So chalk it up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You might as well just be who you are to the fullest, because I honestly think if you're not, because people, I feel like fake the funk sometimes. It's like they could see right through that though.
Sure. I mean, dude, I have like, I have like 60,000 followers on my Instagram account, right? And every time like this happens all the time. People are like, oh, like, why is your Instagram so low, like compared to your songs? Or like, that doesn't make any sense. Or like, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you only have like 4,000 views on a reel or 1,000 views or 100 likes here. I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, the people that support you, like, don't care about that. The people that only care that like, oh, this looks weird because I don't have like enough likes on this. No one cares about that other than yourself. I'm never going to someone's profile as a fan and like, damn, he only got 1,000 likes. I don't care about that piece of content. It's like, if that piece of content gave me value, then I fuck with that person. Like all these like outward metrics, I think, are just stuck in our own head. It's almost like doing a show, like we were talking about this, like doing smaller shows. It's like, damn, like I'm a little nervous to show the crowd because there's not a lot of people there. But the people that are there don't care about the crowd. They're here to support you. They're happy to be there. And like, that's what you're doing the concert for anyways. So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
And the algorithms are always changing too.
100%, dude. I used to, like, dude, 2018, probably 2018, I was crushing on Instagram. Now I can't get a sniff compared to that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you've experienced the same shit.
It's been, well, dude, it's been a roller coaster. I've seen like blips of where it works out and then blips where it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you just got to detach from it too. Like, obviously you want to see things going up, but like, you just got to do as much as you can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know, so like, what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated on those days where things might not be working out?
That's a good question. I think having the knowledge that it has worked in the past. You know, me and Luke were talking about how like you hit a string of luck sometimes.
Proof of concept.
Proof of concept, and just knowing like, oh, like for instance, you talked about that video talked about Kendrick that worked for me. And then I'll do tons of others that won't land. But I know that it did work. So it's like, oh, maybe it will work again. You know, just having that hope, I guess, for the future.
I'm gonna bring it back to Boston, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
So how did you end up linking with Kyle in the first place?
Yeah, it's a great question. Did your research, man. You're on it. So you familiar with Cam Meekins?
Of course, dude. I shot a music video for Cam back in the day.
Dude, Cam Meekins like pretty much connected like I think everybody in the New England music scene. So like Kyle was doing DJ for Cam. He was shooting videos for him in this whole thing.
Yeah, it's also his beat tag.
Yeah, exactly. And he so I don't know if I DM'd Kyle or Kyle hit me up, but basically I was like, yo, I need a photo shoot. And he charged me $100. And I had like $800 at the time, and the rent was $700. So the last $100 went to Kyle Beats. And we went and shot a photo shoot, and we hung out for like 2 hours, and the whole time he was telling me he wants to be a producer, and I'm like, okay, like I didn't know that he even was interested in making beats. I don't think he even was at the time. And then from there, we just hit it off. We just were friends this whole time. And then I was, I think, the first artist he had on his YouTube channel. And just kind of been rocking it since then, you know, just helping him build it as best as I can help. And then like, yeah, vice versa.
Awesome. And then another Boston guy, Sammy Adams.
A classic.
A classic.
You know what I mean? A classic, an OG. Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, he was like one of the first people to go like mainstream out of Massachusetts and like put that whole area on for sure.
Yeah, and I know you did a show with him.
Yeah, we did a show in, I opened for him at the House of Blues. That was either 2016 or 2017. I was super early. Like, I don't even know if I had songs on Spotify. I think I was just whatever the Chainsmokers dropped, I would just remix. And that's what I performed that night. Yeah. But then we did last year or so, I think it was. I had a residency at some place in Boston, and then he had a performance as well. So I went before him. Yeah, great guy. I mean, I love that guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have a memory from like one of those shows that you'd be willing to share, or something that's like silly?
Yeah, I mean, this is something people don't probably know. I met Sammy Adams for the first time at his music video shoot. So he has a music video called Remember. And I forget how it got linked up. My buddy like sent me his casting director's email or something like that. And then they wanted to cast a rapper to be in the music video. And we had like a rap battle. And so just in the scene, Sammy and me just talk shit to each other back and forth. And I think he pushes me on the ground or I push him on the ground. The video's still up to this day. But that's the first time I met him. And but I remember when I first met Sammy, something that I took home with me is that he introduced himself to everybody on set. And he was like, hey, I'm Sammy, nice to meet you. And then I remember at the time, I'm like, dude, this is Sammy Adams. Like, obviously I know who you are, but it's the fact that he took the time to introduce himself as a human went a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sammy is a good dude. I've had the opportunity to work with him a couple times.
Yeah.
I gotta have him on because there's this story where like me and Sammy got stuck in the ghettos of Atlanta at like 2 a.m., dude.
What? You guys like on tour or something?
No, it was a music video shoot too. I'll bring him on so we can talk about that, but yeah, dude. I mean, Sammy's always been like a good dude, but I want to talk to you about like some of the bigger successes. So was Word of the Wise like the first moment where things started going up?
Yeah, absolutely. Word of the Wise was that first moment for sure. And then from then, like if you looked at like my graph of like YouTube or Spotify, literally anything, it's literally been like this. But like it's been years of just this over time. And so now I'm at this point where it's like you've never seen, like people probably just gradually catch on to Matt Corman. But like I've never had like this massive time that like I became like success. You know what I'm saying? I had this one time where like on TikTok, Word of the Wise was doing really well, and that jumped a lot. I went to like 200,000 streams a day. But every time I've hit a jump, I've maintained it from that like
I see what you're saying.
That foundation that we've slowly been building over time, and like that is the success. The success is like the mundane shit every day of making sure you're putting out the songs, doing the content. It's not working. But when you zoom out, like over 10 years,
you're chipping out a bigger picture.
That's all it is. And like now we're getting to that point this past year or so where like, like I would say I'm successful in music in my own.
Yeah, and
for my terms.
I bring up Word of the Wise again though because you recently put out a music video for it.
Yeah.
And that's years after the release, and I think that's very interesting and smart to do.
Yeah.
What influenced you to do that?
So I didn't have many music videos. I neglected that for a while. So I want to turn into a touring artist. That's what we're working on right now. What I noticed that most touring artists have music videos. In the past, I didn't do music videos because I didn't have the money. And it's a low ROI, as you know.
Yes.
And so I'm like, why would I spend $2,000 on a music video when like I literally have $2,000? So like I can't do that. But now it's like, I realized that Word of the Wise was getting like 2 million views a month on YouTube. And so I was like, oh, well, all these people are just seeing this cover art of a fucking necklace with a Yeezy. But if every time they were looking up Word of the Wise, maybe the music video will pop up and maybe they'll see my face, which maybe will make them more of a fan of me. And so I wanted to start converting those listeners into hard tickets, into people that are actually going to be fans, like real people. So rather than people that are just listening to me.
It makes a big difference because then people start to recognize you more too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they're looking up the song, because they might not recognize you from the cover art, obviously, but then when they see you there, it's like, oh,
that's a constant for me. I mean, when we're doing shows and I'm opening for people, every single time there has not been one show where I open and if like people, whoever doesn't know who I am, I play that song every single time. When I'm done, somebody goes, dude, I didn't know that you were Matt Corman, Word of the Wise. Like they didn't, you know what I'm saying? But when they hear Word of the Wise, they connect it and they're like, oh, you're that guy. And so I'm trying to, and I think a lot of artists these days, like we all kind of deal with that. It's like you may have a song that does really well, but that doesn't necessarily connect you to the artist. And so I'm trying to bridge that gap through music videos, showing my face a little more. Like, you know what it makes me think of? TikTok artists. There's a lot of songs that I know the chorus from TikTok, but I couldn't even tell you who made it or what the person looks like. So,
real dude.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. It's like if they threw a festival nowadays and you just had all the TikTok artists come out and like did their segment from their song. It's like people wouldn't even know who's walking on the stage, but they'd know the music.
I literally have an instance of that. I saw, I was at Jingle Ball last year, and I was like, who the hell is this David Kushner dude?
Yeah.
And then he goes,
I don't even know what he is.
He does the song that's like, in the daylight, nothing through the day.
Love that song. See, there we go. Yeah, exactly.
But I had that moment. It was like a eureka. I was like, oh, that's who that guy is.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. But I want to bring it a little bit to music video. So I entered the game as a music video director.
That's right, yeah.
And the ROI on music videos is terrible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to make a comeback. Let me explain why before I say this, though. So I'm going to make a comeback to music videos. But I think the strategy, if you're an artist wanting to do a music video, make each shot that you can use it for short form and then put all those clips together so that you can like make a music video out of that or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact strategy, but it's tricky though, because what might work on YouTube might not work on socials.
Absolutely. When I post a clip from a music video on socials, it does not perform well. I mean, you probably know that too.
Trust me, I do know it.
You have to like shoot for short form. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard game.
I think there's going to be, and I'll put it out there, and I'm going to try to do it, but I think whoever is able to like find the balance of like what looks great on short form and YouTube and like able to like, because the thing is like, imagine a clip goes viral on TikTok and then that same clip is used within a music video on YouTube. Now it's like people recognize the music video via the whole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there is a world where it could work out, but it makes me sad as a music video director. Like that's how I entered the game. Like
adaptability now, though, and that's what's the beauty. I mean, I said me and Luke were talking about this, being able to adapt to times. Like think about when the Dat Piff era was going on. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, like then it changed to like the SoundCloud era, and then it changed. It just changes and keeps on changing. And so like we entered a new realm. Like TikTok entered like a couple of years ago, and then you have to adapt, and then who knows? We might have fucking, you have to do hologram videos, and like if you don't adapt, you're gonna be left behind.
Oh, you need to adapt. Somebody recently brought up to me, they're talking about dropping a mixtape on Dat Piff. I literally said, what the fuck are you talking about?
Where are you?
Dog? Like,
1990? Like what's going on?
Bro, but it's crazy. Like you need to adapt in the music industry. Otherwise, like you got no shot. And the thing is, everything's changing. The game right now is short form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows what it's going to be in 5 years?
No clue. I mean, maybe we'll shift back to long form. Like I'm not really sure, but you definitely got to adapt because you'll get left.
Yeah, and I think but the one thing I do like about how the game changes so often is that it kind of leaves everybody in the jungle, including like these majors, like
100%. Everyone's in the jungle. I think we were just talking about this. Everybody that I've met that has a high level of success in music, like, like fucking famous dudes, are still in the room having this conversation that we're having of, all right, like, is this gonna like perform well on Instagram? And it's like guys that are selling out 5,000 capacity places. You know what I mean? Like, damn, how should we roll out the EP? Like, should we do like a music video? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, should I do like a video of my face? And it's the same convos at every level. This is just the wild, wild west still, and anything can happen. Like literally tomorrow, a clip from this can just blow up on the internet and you're the next big thing in the world. And who the fuck knows? It's just, there's no answers.
It's crazy though too, because what may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa too. Like,
do you know how many people are trying to be Connor Price? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, he killed it with the skits, and so everybody, like, for a second, I even tried. I'm like trying to do skits, and I'm like, wait, I'm not an actor. That works for him for his reason, and then everybody has to find their own thing, and so that's why you kind of got to turn the blinders off and not look at a lot of people's stuff, or take it with a grain of salt,
What do you think something that's worked for you really well?
Putting out music consistently. Yeah, 100%. I never was the best TikTok guy, Instagram guy. I don't care if I get 90 likes on my Instagram. I know that my job that has worked for me is I put out a song every Friday that is of a certain quality, and then I try to follow it up with as many music videos and do as many shows as possible, and then that's me. I'm the guy who the fan can always rely on to deliver, and that's it. And so I try to just keep it there. I try other shit, but like it doesn't work. So I always make sure the main thing that has worked for me will work for me. And what I do, like some people are like, oh, song a week, you're fucking up like your whole thing or whatever. And it's like, that's fine. It doesn't work for you. It works for me. And so like, that's just it, So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and I think it is really important just to find what works for you, like as an artist too, because it's just like, you need to just figure out what, like, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but like the thing that makes you stand out, the thing that makes you different, because there's so many people out here just trying to do the exact same thing.
The floodgates are open, of course. I mean, like, I'll credit Russ. Russ was putting out a song a week, and like that didn't necessarily inspire me to do it, but I will say it's like everyone tried to then do that and tried to do the same artwork you know what I'm saying? And it's like that also worked for that time. It's like you can't replicate. Like, people are always like, "Oh, how did you do Word of the Wise?" Like, well, unfortunately, you can't actually replicate that. Like that, you had to be there at that certain time. You had to get a little lucky, like me. Like 99% of the big wins for everybody comes from luck. It's like, yeah, you work your ass off and you can be strategic or whatever, but like at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, you probably had a moment that like was really successful, and like maybe you can accredit it to luck, but like maybe you can't.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, my biggest moment within music was, via Swaggy. So my song got posted on Swaggy Tracks.
Yeah. And
then from that video, a huge soccer page picked it up.
There you go.
And Germany. So then we were on the Germany viral charts, and like.
There you go.
Yeah, like
100%.
I'll talk to my dad every once in a while too. He'll be like, "Well, why don't you
do it again?
Why'd you do it again?" I was like, "Dad, that's not how it works."
100%. 100%.
It's like, yeah, like the climate, and that's the thing. Even the climate of music, like
absolutely.
I'm so grateful and thankful for Swaggy Tracks, but it's not the same YouTube climate that it was,
Me and Dylan have a song that just got posted on, what was that, Rap Nation?
Yeah.
That's a big one, right?
A big one, dude.
It got posted like last year or something. And like, it's like, if that happened in 2015, we would have been crazy.
It is
it would have changed our life. But like, nothing happened because you can't do that anymore. It's like, now it's a new thing. So but even back then when your song got posted on Swaggy Tracks, like Swaggy Tracks might have been a new thing that people were trying to do then. And then before that, it was like pay to get your mixtape sponsored on Dat Piff.
Yeah, the blog era,
yeah,
dude.
so then it's like, oh, I need to try to get on Pigeons and Planes. Like, good music all day, shout out Tim Weber. But like, that's like, everything just changes. So you can't replicate stuff that happened in the past sometimes.
No, and that's the thing. And I think that applies for not only other artists, but like yourself too. You know what I mean? You got to just let your big moment be the big moment and try to find the next thing.
Yeah, just be happy to it and just be open with it. That's why I constantly been delivering the music too, is because I've known like my song Put 'Em in Their Place. Great example. Came out in 2020. No promotion has been done to it. Literally, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year. They use it in their Super Bowl TikTok. There is nothing I did to make that happen other than have that song out and be delivering over and over and over and over and over again, so that created the opportunity for them to find it because it was going viral on TikTok through other people using it. But that's luck. You know?
And I think there are things you can do to be a little strategic too. So for example, I have a song that I recently dropped called Heavyweights.
Yep.
Organically, it's being used in a lot of workout videos. You know what I mean? Because I think when you have songs that have like these key words, you know what I mean? Like Word to the Wise is like something that like people are familiar with the term, so they might just like look it up and come across it. So I think, when you're naming your songs and things like that, it's kind of worth putting a little thought into because it could end up being a keyword that.
For sure. I mean, like, I have a song called She a Queen that's used in a lot of beauty edits. I have a song called, I made a song called Logan Paul back in the day when he was popping. Obviously still popping, but like when YouTubers were using, I tried to replicate Word of the Wise is what I did. Nelk used my song, and then I made a song called Logan Paul because I was like, he'll use it in his vlog if his name Logan Paul. And I sent it over to their team and they said they liked it. They never used it, which is okay, but I was trying to increase my opportunity for luck to occur through naming the song and then putting like a couple bars about him in the beginning. Yeah, and then there's also instances where it's like, someone does use your song and it doesn't do really anything. You ever paid money for an influencer to use your song and it didn't do anything? Oh man, me and Luke can talk about this one, dude. Man, I'll put him on blast, dude. I paid this influencer, Lil Durag. Yeah, there you go. Dude. You know what I'm saying? No, dude. But he's a really dope dancer. He's a great dancer, dude. I still like his dancing, but he was supposed to do a Dance Our Song. Never saw it, dude. Oh, I've been there, bro. Yeah, for sure. Dude. I don't even know the guy's name, but like, I paid this dude for like $500 during the TikTok boom. You know what I'm saying? This was during the TikTok boom too, yeah. That was when I had the $700 a month coming in. So like the 500 was crazy. Yeah. I was gonna be Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? Never did the dance. Bro, what's never happened. I've had the dances done too, and then it doesn't reflect anything on it, you know? I've had videos of me rapping on Instagram that did millions of views that it didn't all convert to streams too. So like, couldn't tell you. You know, I don't know. Yeah, Matt, I'm going to pull this to the end zone because we're coming to our time. Yeah. What's something that, like, what's your message to the world? Just keep working your ass off. If you read the book by Napoleon Hill, which is, I forget what it's called now because my brain's dead. Think and Grow Rich. Thank you. The number one key takeaway is persistence. Persistence has completely changed my life. So be persistent and don't quit on your dreams because you may die any day. So, and don't be a bitch.
Let's go, dude. And where can people find you if they want to find you?
Matt Corman, everywhere. Make it happen. I love you.
Let's go, dude. People just watch us become friends in real time, dude. This is our first time meeting. Little distro kid.
Squires, you're the man. Everything that everybody has said about you is true. You're great.
Thank you, dude. I'm trying. Dude, I really am trying, dude. But yeah, we got a show tonight. Let's go kill it.
Let's go kill it, dude.
All right.